promise you this will work. If you really want to pull a female in your life, I guarantee you this will work. Be nice to her.
That's pretty good.
Ever think about asking her,
That's pretty good.
how are you doing?
That's a good baseline. That's a good thing
Ask
to
her
start.
name. These guys overthink it. They're
Compliments are nice. Compliment, not like creepy compliment, like
Yeah.
not shouting from the passenger side of your best friend's ride.
trying to holler at me.
Holler at me.
Number 2, have a job.
It helps.
How about that? Look, we need change.
Okay.
There's not a lot of people willing to stand up and say and do it. The cost of drug prescriptions in America is too high.
It certainly is. Eye-opening and culture shock in a good way.
Yeah.
For me, when I went to Atlanta.
And everybody booty out here. But anyway, we are at 45 minutes. Welcome back to VTV. Believe it or not, this is our first episode. I'm your host, William Haynes.
Hello, I'm Rickey Macchiato.
All right. And today, let's just get right into it. Lookmaxxing. So Macchiato, I mean, it sounds cool.
That's the name. That's kind of a nickname somebody gave me one time.
Really?
And I've never used it.
I mean, your real last name is pretty good, though.
My real last name is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We can say it. It's
but
okay.
you want to be like Macchiato.
Rickey Macchiato. It rolls off the tongue.
He sounds like either like a villain or in a high school. Not Rickey Macchiato's coming.
You can't even say it right.
Rickey Macchiato.
There we go.
Macchiato.
There it is.
Yeah, it sounds Japanese-ish.
Kind of. A Japanese adjacent.
It sounds Japanese adjacent and also Italian.
Do you know Rickey Macchiato?
Macchiato.
I feel like my last
Rickey
name sounds a little
Macchiato,
Italian
he
too.
stole my daughter.
Do you know what a macchiato is?
It's like a coffee.
Yeah. It's like a coffee.
What a what?
It's like espresso.
Oh yeah.
And a little bit of milk, I think.
Oh yeah, that's
Not
what
steam.
I want. That coffee that'll mess you up.
think.
I love when the coffee is so strong I'm not the same after.
Are you a coffee drinker?
Hell yes.
Do you like some espresso?
Hell yeah.
Do you like espresso?
People, my friends are always like, oh, you know, you be drinking a lot of wine, you drink a lot of champagne, you drink a lot of those workout drinks. I'm like, my true addiction is caffeine.
It gets you a little pumped.
It's like...
It is the most used drug in the world.
And no one says nothing about how much coffee I drink.
No.
I'm like, I drink way more coffee than I drink.
I was up to like 4 shots a day at one point.
Yeah.
Like...
And it's totally okay.
It's a little much. It's a little much.
That doesn't happen to me. That's me feeling like
if you're doing 4 shots of coffee, 4 shots of espresso, I feel like you just need to go to bed earlier.
Yeah.
I think you need to rethink some things.
Yeah.
Drink a green tea. So I switched up to tea. It's not this. Yeah, it doesn't give you. It doesn't.
As much as I want to be Patrick Stewart, I'm like
wallop.
the tea doesn't do it for me. I need that. It's drugs.
You're not a distinguished British gentleman.
Yeah, I'm not a distinguished British gentleman or like a cool Indian guy. Like I know a lot of people really love tea, but it's not strong enough for me.
No, it doesn't
I would have
really
to
do
put
it.
so much sugar in it, they would be offended.
If you know of a good tea recipe or a good tea that me and Will should try, leave it in the comments below. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So first off, we're gonna talk about Lookmaxxing.
Oh my goodness, it's all in the news.
Did you have somebody in mind you wanted to talk about?
Well, the main guy, I didn't even know that this was like a thing. I'm an elder millennial, so I feel like I'm a little out of the loop with a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
But like, there's like this clavicular guy, dude.
Yes.
Who's like, I didn't even know he was only 20 years old. I thought he was.
Oh,
like,
he looks way older than
No,
that.
I thought he was like an authority, and I'm like, I'm not listening to some 20-year-old punk who.
I know you don't know.
Brain isn't even formulated yet.
You don't know.
No, he doesn't.
You
know
don't
shit.
know.
And he's getting smacked down, and he's getting put. I guess he just got arrested or something.
Did he get arrested too?
I think he got arrested. He had like an assault charge or something.
This is the guy they pulled off his wig, right?
Is it? Should we look that up?
He's like big, buff, white dude with brown hair. Yeah.
He ain't big and buff. Like, hang on. Let me.
We talking about 2 different dudes.
Lookmaxxer who got his wig removed. Androgenic. A viral video from February 26th shows a stranger snatching his hat in public, allegedly revealing a wig.
That's who I'm
and
talking
a
about.
receding hairline. This led to him being referred to as Fraud Maxer.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. Who are you talking about?
It's this guy. He was in like the fucking New York Times and shit.
Okay.
Clavicular Lookmaxxer.
I think I've heard of him too, and I'm only just now realizing they're 2 different people.
No, they're 2 different people, but I guess it's like it's a whole thing. No, now it's showing me clavicles.
Clavicle, the bone, the streamer.
Like this.
Yes. I totally thought. Okay, I saw this guy second, and I thought that he was the guy from the first video.
I guess he's the ringleader of this whole movement.
Yeah.
But So do you know like the whole like he was like doing like heroin to keep his appetite down?
Yes.
And like you got to work out, you got to do whatever.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
They're all pretty misogynistic and all this and everything. So
and I agree. Look, as a man, you do need to be doing something. Brush your teeth, get a job, do something with your life, brush your hair, clean up your room.
I think there's definitely some truth to it. Like even like half the shit Trump says I don't agree with. There's always like, oh, there's a kernel of truth to that. Like, but you got to dig a little bit deeper. It's called common
sense in this one. It's like, be a man. And this is something. It's kind of controversial to say this, but I know I sound like a red pill dude, and I'm not. I'll whoop all the red pill dudes' ass. No, any red pill dude want to fight, I'll fight him.
I think I agree with you to some degree because it's like. A lot of this is just like, oh, traditional values and being a trad wife and I'm the man and I'm dominant and I'm the woman I'm not and don't be a simp and do all this. And I think that all goes a little too far and dips into misogyny and dips into, putting down women. And I think
you don't want to do that.
No. Well, and I think like, no, in the trail end of, the Me Too movement and everything, I think this is like, an overcorrection to that a lot of this and a lot of these voices. So I just real quick and I just think like no, like you can better yourself. Nobody's going to help you but you. Nobody's going to make you the better man but yourself.
Yes.
So absolutely. If you need to lose a few pounds, do it. If you need to get in the gym a little bit, do it.
Go to the gym.
If you can fix your teeth a little bit, do it.
You a man.
Whatever you can do within reason, like go ahead and do it because it's like that's just the world we live in. Appearances are a big thing. Speaking as a young black fella, any advantage that you can glean from things, I think absolutely that holds true. So the Lookmaxxing necessarily, like I don't subscribe to that, but I think like no, there's truth in it. Make yourself better, be the best version of yourself that you can be,
I think that,
get your self confidence up. Get outside, walk around, lift some weights, and and carry on.
I think a lot of people are confused. It's like, who are these men that watch these Lookmaxxing videos or these influencers trying to teach men how to do basic stuff? They ain't got a daddy. They ain't got no daddies.
Ooh, we cutting deep. We get to it.
Why do you think these men come to these other random men for random intelligence? He ain't got a father in the home.
Or they don't have a father figure.
They don't have a father figure, so they got to watch on YouTube. But if that father figure is telling you to inject drugs into your face,
right.
He might be a government psyop. Don't do that.
No, I think there's like the basis of what a lot of these guys are saying has some truth to it, but I think they just take it to the extreme. I think they take it to the next level, to a point that may not be helpful and may not be healthy.
Is it peptides that they're putting in their face?
I don't even know.
I know what it is. I've seen like they have like syringes in their refrigerator.
If you're a 20-year-old dude, like
it's not gonna help you.
You don't need to be injecting yourself.
I guarantee you, working on your personality will help you more.
I think so. I think just being a better person, understanding me. I hate women. Women don't like me. I'm just whatever. So I'm gonna be this Andrew Tate. Little clone.
I like those dudes because you're going to lose out on a girl to me every single time. Like, I'm not going to buy her nothing. I'm not going to buy her no flowers. You're going to lose out on a girl to me every single time. So those dudes walking around, I ain't mad at them. Keep doing your thing, bro. So Obama, I'm just kidding.
Obeezy! Thanks, Obama.
So the root of the problem is we're all wondering who is watching these Lookmaxxing videos. It's people who need a father figure. And I realized, I was like, okay, I need to tap in that market. I'll be the one. Your room is dirty, bro. Your room is dirty. Clean up your room.
It's true.
Brush your hair.
You want to have a lady over? You want to have a lady be impressed by you? Just, start with the simple things. Clean your room. Present yourself well. You don't have to be all... What was the metrosexual?
Yeah. You can do that.
You can do that, but you don't have to be all that.
It doesn't have to go that far.
Zhuzh yourself up a little bit.
I'm going to tell you here.
Step your game up.
I promise you this will work. If you really want to pull a female in your life, I guarantee you this will work. Be nice to her.
That's pretty good.
Ever think about asking her?
That's pretty good.
How are you doing?
That's a good baseline. That's a good thing
ask her name. These guys overthink it. They're
compliments are nice. Compliment, not like creepy compliment, like not shouting from the passenger side of your best friend's ride.
Trying to holler at me. That song didn't make sense for a while because I was too young. I was like 5-year-old, 6-year-old singing that song. But now as an adult.
Are you a zillennial? Are you a Gen Z?
No. I'm 93, so I'm a millennial.
Yeah,
but,
you're a millennial.
But I remember that song that it makes. I don't want no scrubs. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging from the passenger side of your best friend's ride. Trying to holler at me. Don't be a scrub.
No, don't be a scrub.
Definitely don't be a scrub.
There was a rebuttal song. I don't want no chickens.
Oh, I don't want
no chickens. A chicken. I don't know the rest of it.
I think I remember that.
I just know the hook.
I kind of forget.
It was way less, not as popular.
But
it wasn't as good.
I feel like I have disappointed. I posted a lot lately about, you know, my I don't want to say disappointment in men, but
Okay.
I'm trying to be one of those. I'm the opposite of Andrew Tate. Okay.
Good.
Me and him
Good
doing
place
the
to
same.
start. That's
I'm
a
the
good
opposite.
baseline.
Let's get this. I'm the opposite of Andrew Tate.
That's a good place to start.
I'm the opposite of Andrew
That's
Tate.
a good place to be.
I say give her some money. If she wants some money, give her some money. Pay for her nails.
When I'm need.
But I'm saying, like, look, I will be what these men need. If you are a young man and you're like, I don't know what to do with my life, I'll be your father.
Okay.
I'll be your daddy.
Speaking of, like, you ran for office.
Oh yeah, that was I'll be your daddy. That was 2017. Yeah, when I ran
That was
for
a minute
office-
ago. That was a minute ago. But you were out there. You were when we met up, because Will and I met up recently at our friends film festival. We hadn't talked in a while. I thought you were up in the Bay Area, but you're down.
I'm back in LA,
you're back
man.
In LA. You're back.
Nobody
in La La
knew.
Land.
Yeah.
So no, we met up, and where was I going with this?
Yeah, I talked to you about it, to you and Jeremy. I really don't. A lot of people don't know that I ran for office. I'm like, that was something I did.
No,
but
and you said that you were thinking about maybe running again.
I don't know if that's gonna be publicly known yet.
Okay, that's okay.
You can't let them know.
This ain't live. We can
It's not live. It might be cut out.
That's all good.
But you know, I mean, no, I'm not gonna run again because.
It's breaking news. Okay.
Why would I run for office again? It's not like I want to be powerful or anything. It's not like I think about it every day.
Okay.
It's not like I'm up at 1 a.m. at night
Lord.
like, God.
Oh Lord, here we go.
But no, like you see that new Superman movie?
Is it the one people? No, I'm thinking Supergirl.
No,
is that the
no.
Superman movie?
The
with
Superman movie.
Supergirl.
From like 8-9 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by both of those people. I'm both Superman and Lex Luthor. It's like I'm a Boy Scout and I want to help people.
You got little column. You got two little things
But
talking on both.
But at the same time, hold on, my friend calling me.
No, go ahead.
What up, Delilah? You on a podcast?
Hello, hi Delilah.
You look so good. She hung up.
She hung up immediately.
Yeah, she think I'm not be doing nothing. But yeah, I got both of those dudes. I'm like, I feel like, look, we need change.
Okay.
There's not a lot of people willing to stand up and say and do it. The cost of drug prescriptions in America is too high.
It certainly is. 100%. You can get the same drugs in Europe, even in Canada, for a third of the price that you can get it here.
But I can't run for office anymore because if I go out there and say that, they're gonna kill me.
Why would they kill you?
Because they're the most powerful people in the world. You want to make $10 million quickly? Invent some type of lotion that they use in the hospital.
I mean, even not even you. I think even real politicians, they run into that situation. They make all these promises. We're gonna change this.
Yeah.
We're gonna speak truth to the elites. We're gonna go down with the system. We're gonna lower drug prices. We're gonna do all these things that really aren't in any one man's capacity or control. It goes through Congress. It goes through special interests. It goes through really the corporatocracy.
And the amount of scary people you meet behind the scenes.
Who have the money and have the control.
Yeah.
So
I'm really blessed that, I've been in LA for 14 years now? 15 years, 2011.
That's about
14 and a half.
That's about as long as I've been here.
And I've run into very few truthfully evil people. You could tell. I probably met 3 evil people in my life.
I mean, that's saying a lot.
Not bad.
And you mix it up. You meet a lot of folks.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of folks in your goings-ons.
But if I got back into politics, I'm like, the amount of evil people I would meet would be crazy.
The claws come out.
So
the true character of people comes out.
As much as I would love to run again,
I think people are so cynical and skeptical of politics and politicians, and I think the younger generation don't what's the point, what's the use? But real change can happen.
They
and
do.
You can implement real change, and
Yeah.
the government is the only one that we have, and we have to improve it and make. I mean, look at Trump. He's bulldozing his way through everything, and
Yeah.
some of the pushback and checks and balances are happening, but it's hard for one person to really affect every aspect of our lives. You know, at least in the terms that they want to, and as quickly as they think they can.
Yeah.
And that they preach to people, but
Yeah, and so that friend that just called me on the phone, she's been tapped in on what's been going on in Iran for several years now. So several years. She's been talking to me about that every day for a very long time. So she was really excited when all this happened. And
excited when it happened.
I know.
Excited.
Because
a lot of
she
people
wants,
from Iran are like, no, we're happy. This government is corrupt. It's awful. They're oppressing our people. So they're like, thank you, Trump. Thank you, Trump. That's,
and she doesn't lean that way at all. But she's, for the longest, that's all she's posted on her story the past couple of years is about the war. And I've been telling her for the longest, I'm like, posting on your story is good, but it's not enough.
Right.
And she's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And I tell her, vote. And she's like, voting? How is that going to help?
Oh,
I'm like,
absolutely.
You get 30 views on your Instagram story.
Voting is and people are, a lot of people, especially in California, our vote doesn't matter. I think that is one of the clearest ways that we have to exercise our right and to exercise our vote. And so many people in these places wish that they had a true democracy and wish that they could have their voice heard and to exercise their right. And I think that's precious. Even as like black folk, we didn't have that right for a long time. Women didn't have that right for a long time.
My forefathers fought and died for the right to vote.
Absolutely.
Okay. And
absolutely.
Like
that's important.
My grandparents are older. So like I said, my grandparents' parents were sharecroppers. That's how old my grandparents are.
Word.
My parents had me old, and my grandparents had them old. So my family was really old. So I know what it's like to have a family member who lived through women's suffrage, who lived through Jim Crow, who lived through the civil rights.
Yes.
So these young folks today, they're like, they want you to think that was a long time ago. It wasn't to me.
It was not that long ago.
It was not that. Why should we talk about slavery?
Not that long ago.
Why should we talk about Jim Crow? It was so long ago. You're still mad about 60 years ago? I still talk about Star Trek from 60 years ago.
That still has profound effects on where we're at today. Redlining has the housing districts where black folks couldn't live and all of that. That has a profound effect of where people still are today. Now, not to say it's just like, oh, you blame the white man, but I'm just saying there are clear, if you study historiography, if you look at history, if you look and actually care to do a little bit of research, you will see how things were and then how that is affected and the ripple effects of those changes and of those decisions, how they still affect people to this very day.
So I had to tell my Gen Z friend, she's 23, and then I said, post it on your Instagram story is good.
Right.
But I said, but really what you want to tell people to do is go call their congressman.
Right.
Vote for a congressman because you want them to go intervene in another country and install leaderships and I'm like, how do you think that happens? From you posting on Instagram?
And that sounds all nice, but I don't even think from like the U.S. perspective that was the end goal and like liberating the Iranian people.
Well, he thinks that you can stay president if you're president during wartime.
What do you mean? You could stay president. We've had a lot of, great wartime, but like FDR, not to get into history, FDR.
You can't do that no more.
Like FDR was, 3, 4, 5 term president, went on and on and on because he was the father of the nation. He brought us through World War II. And then because of that, then we imposed the
brand new deal,
the 2 term limits. Exactly. So, wartime presidents is another thing. Now, he didn't go and start a war willy-nilly because Israel bullied him into it. But
I'm not running again. My political career is over, but if I did run again, I would be like Lyndon Johnson.
LBJ.
I'd be like LBJ. I'd be in people's face.
He was, LBJ, he gave us Social Security. He gave us a lot of the things that we still value and revere to this very day. He really pushed progressive change, and those are things that are, people say like, oh, progressive isn't such a dirty word, and
not to me.
Socialism is such a dirty thing. Like some of the most precious things we enjoy are social constructs.
Not to Star Trek fans.
The fire department, Social Security, healthcare. Those are all social constructs. Those are all things that we rally together and pull together to lift our society.
Everything that JFK was trying to do with the civil rights movement, LBJ actually came in and did them.
Dude, look at you, Will.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I know I'm funny, so they think I don't know.
No, I didn't know. I'm taken aback. So
I was just telling Ricky off camera, I'm like, for the first time in my life, the past 2 years, I've been tapped out. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, we at war? There a war going on?
It's hard to be. It's overwhelming. And now with social media, it is. You're just bombarded by all of this bad news, this horrible stuff. Whatever echo chamber you want to be in, that you.
I'm in my echo chamber.
That can, whatever you want to believe, or rightly or wrongly, there's 10, 20, 30 voices to amplify that and to support your wrong-headed claim.
Star Trek saved my life, dude. All I pay attention to is Star Trek. Because I like consume Star Trek 24/7 and like One Piece, like anime type stuff.
Okay.
So I used to also be into news and politics, as you may recall.
Yes.
Now in government,
and that was part of the job that we both mutually had back in the day. There was a lot of news
and I'll
stories.
say I'm realizing this just now. I think I was more interested in government than I'm interested in politics.
Okay.
But
some people kind of conflate the two.
They think they're the same.
Right.
But you got to know how the government works to run politics. But now these past 2 years, I don't know what's going on, and I'm so happy.
Do you feel free? Do you feel a lightness?
Yes,
now?
yes. I've used to fall asleep with cable news on because I wanted to know. It's like, it makes you ignorant.
Yeah, that's
people don't realize
that's tough.
Watching the news every day is gonna make you dumber because you're gonna start to believe the cable news talk line pipeline, the 72 hour
of whatever your Fox,
they run it.
MS, CNN, NBC, CDC,
whatever little counter they got. They got a little counter at the bottom of the screen. 2 million people died, 23 hours until whatever they running you. And I was fully deep in that for most of my life until like 2 years ago. I was like, you know what? This is making me unhappy.
I think it's a valuable thing to check out, to walk outside, to do the thing like, we went outside and we played until the street lights came on. And then we came on home, that type of shit. I don't think is... Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. But I just feel like that kind of ethos, like we're just scrolling, we're playing Call of Duty, and then we're just like consuming shit that's bad for us, like partisan stuff. Like I think there's something to be said for some new, like being informed, an informed individual, and knowing what's going on in your world. I think is important. Yeah. But I think a lot of news is not news. It's entertainment. It's infotainment. It's clicks and likes. And like Trump drove headlines. Trump was really good entertainment. So all you saw on all the networks was Trump. What did he do that was great? What did he do that was bad? What did he do that was hilarious? And that was all part of the formula. So
for me, having run into him because of our former job,
we did.
So
we can cut to a clip.
Mr. Trump, do you have a quick word for 2 million young people on YouTube?
We're millennials.
Right over here, sir.
Ready? Yeah. Young people, I love you.
Yeah. What's your biggest issue with minorities right now?
None.
None. So that's our answer. That's our answer. Fucking Jinx says let's follow him.
Cut to a clip. So long story short, for some reason SourceFed was involved with multiple different elections.
They were the first one, like right before I got hired. It was the first, and then we did the one with Trump and Hillary.
How was the Libertarian candidate on election night 2012 at SourceFed headquarters?
Right. That's crazy.
How are you at SourceFed headquarters in 2012?
It was like we were at the point of the spear a little bit with some of that stuff.
So by 2015, so I believe that was the year I met. I believe it was August of 2015 that I had met Trump, and you remember the producers? They were like, "All right, Will, you might run into him." Yeah. They were like, "Don't."
Were you ready? Were you nervous? How'd you feel?
I tell people this all the time. The moment I met Trump was the last time I've ever been nervous to perform in my life. Ever since that moment, I have never been nervous for anything.
Really?
That day I learned, I was like, oh, I can say anything I want to anybody.
Right. No, because you took the bull by the horns on that one, and you got a great reaction. Yeah. And you got a great reaction
At the time, people were mad at me.
Yeah.
At the time, it was 50-50. Now, when I post a clip of me and Trump, everybody's like, Will, you the man.
Isn't that interesting how that works? Isn't that funny how that works? In the moment, how up in arms people are, and then it's just like, no, you were kind of a pioneer. You were kind of like speaking truth to power or whatever.
This is how racism spreads. This is how bigotry spreads, because they tell somebody like me, don't call them out for what they do, because we want to benefit in the future. We don't want to partake in that. And that's what Trump understood. He was like, most of these people don't want to get involved with the nitty gritty, the nasty, like me. And he met for one of the first times on camera, he met someone like me that was like, I'm willing to talk the nasty with you
for those few memorable seconds. Definitely.
Yeah.
But Trump, you even said it. He's not as dumb as a lot of people make.
I was telling you, he's not as dumb as people want them to think. And I realized that when I spoke to him. I spent 2 weeks. I always think of it like anime. I knew I was going to meet Trump. I thought it was a 75% chance. So I had in my iPhone, I had a note for every single politician I knew I was going to meet, and I wrote like 5 different questions I can ask every single Republican politician.
Okay.
This is before ChatGPT, and you can just say,
Right.
give me 5 nasty
Right.
questions I can get. I sat there myself and thought each person. And so I'm telling you, I had prep time. In anime terms, I had everything that I could pull. I threw
You
at
had your
Trump.
utility belt.
I gave him the biggest curveball I could give a person. What's your biggest issue with minorities right now? That is a trick question. Your brain wants to say, well, niggas be pissing me off because, but he was smart enough to say.
He took it in stride. He was smooth with it.
He threw it back on me, and that's the moment I was like, oh, he's not as dumb as people want. He wants.
Because he didn't know that was coming. Because
No.
he's going from person to person, to press thing to press thing, and
Yeah.
he was
This is a 74-year-old,
took
75-year-old.
took a moment to be like, no, let me acknowledge this
Yeah.
this little.
And I couldn't have done that
ruffle
without
right here.
Lieberman.
Yeah, well, Lieberman was the straight man. Lieberman added the comedic value to some of that interaction.
People would be surprised to know this. Our former host, Lieberman, I talk to Lieberman more than most.
Yeah.
And Lieberman always says to me, he's like, why are you talking to me? He's like, and I'm like, Lieberman, I appreciate you because you set me up
I love Matt Lieberman.
multiple times in my life.
Right.
Multiple times in my life.
You
And-
guys were, it was sort of the odd couple, but y'all had a good, you guys had a good rapport.
Yeah,
No,
I was
we
hard with him, but
kind of knew what we were doing on that. Well, not really. We just kind of threw it out the wall and it stuck.
So
it
I'm
kinda
thankful
worked
to
out.
Lieberman. Trump would not have talked to me. If he saw just a black dude trying to talk to him, he would not have engaged with him. But Lieberman said, hey, 1 million young folks
He
here,
opened the
sir."
door a little bit. He opened the door a little bit.
He opened the door.
That's interesting.
After that night, he said, we're the Slam Dunk brothers. I asked him if he remembered that. He doesn't remember saying this. But or the Alley-Oop brothers. He threw the
Who said
ball
that?
up. Yeah, he said that.
Oh,
and I was like,
shit.
you're right. Oh, sorry, another girl calling me.
No, go ahead.
What up, Vicky? I'm on a podcast. We were supposed to film at 8 and you haven't even left? Dude, text me. Okay, I hung up on her. All these girls calling me right now.
She didn't hang up on you, though.
Girls don't call me this much. I'm not this popular. I paid them. I texted like 10 girls. I'm
This
like, call
podca-
me in like 10 minutes.
Seems.
I texted like 10 girls.
I would beg to differ, my friend. We've had two beesies call you so far. So right on this podcast couch.
I have so much going on today and tomorrow.
Well, you're staying busy. You're staying active.
I got to.
No, absolutely. No,
I got
like,
to.
You know, like nobody's gonna even the nobody's gonna do it for you. You got to stay active. If you want something, you gotta.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
So
go
to
take
these
it.
dudes,
Take it.
to these dudes, I also want to bring up to you. So in
Yes.
South Korea is a huge popular. Some of the most popular things in the world are coming out of South Korea right now, and their men are doing a lot of Lookmaxxing.
They're not having kids. They're not fucking.
Oh yeah, they're
That's the thing.
Their
Well,
birth
the
rate.
population decline in
Yeah.
some of the East Asian countries.
Same with Japan.
Japan,
It's like
my quarter of my homeland.
well,
you
the
know.
men in Japan, I relate with them a lot.
Okay.
They're having a hard time because their society is set up in quite a different way.
Okay.
In Japan, you need to work yourself to death.
Yeah, they have a different work mentality. The work-life balance is different here than it is in a lot of places.
And just a lot of cultural, institutional things like
right.
hotels that are the size of a box that you could just sleep in, and and like go look at like
That culture is fascinating to me, though. Have you been to Japan?
I haven't.
I've only been. It was real quick. It was only for 2 days. I went with Raina. Raina was going home.
Oh.
For like a week, and we convinced Jeremy, our former boss, to let me tag along for the first 2 days to go to, because she lives not in Tokyo, but we convinced Jeremy to let us go to Tokyo and film some content. So we did like some man on the street shit. We went to like a Japanese sex hotel, which was pretty funny. So we actually did some content, but for me, like, she knows, like, I'm quarter Japanese, and she just knew my passion and my desire to go to Nippon and hang out, and it was dude, it was transformative. It was amazing. We did so much that we went to when YouTube spaces were still a thing. We went to the YouTube space in Japan. We went to Roppongi, Akihabara, Shinjuku.
Wow.
We went to Shibuya Crossing. Like, we did all the things. Took the tube. So like I'm and who we just saw at the film festival too, Raina, who kind of brought us all together. So no, it was like almost a spiritual experience for me, even just those couple of days that I was able to go. But that whole society and how they do, like just seeing clips of like, oh, at the Olympics they like picked up all the trash.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's just how they are from birth. It's just like
Yeah.
part of the activities we do during recesses. Everybody cleans
They're
up.
recycling
And they're
and-
recycling and like all their food, like in
Yeah.
the schools, all has to be organic and is like, you know, ethically sourced and all this type
Yeah.
of thing. And just like such a
Organized society.
organized
Well,
society and so different from
because
how we do things here, which is
in their
really just
country-
kind of eye-opening.
Their country's space is finite.
Right. They build up, which is why the hotels are so small.
Yeah.
Which is why, you know, the city is, it's like one of the densest cities in the world, Tokyo.
Yeah.
So
Because I think there's the same size as California.
basically, yeah.
Nearly.
Yeah, the whole country.
And I looked it up, like the amount of homeless people, they have it down to we have this many, it was like 50,000, between 100,000 and 50,000 homeless people in their country. I'm like, we got more than that in
in
California.
LA, you go to Skid Row. You feel
Yeah,
like
you go to
that's
Skid
where-
Row,
oh
we
my
got
goodness, yeah.
So for in Japan, homelessness is a solvable crisis.
Right.
A couple $1 billion could actually get every person off the streets.
Which is crazy.
Uh-huh.
Which is crazy.
As
We're doing
opposed-
like this whole thing in LA, this Inside Safe. I just read a thing today. It was just like, yeah, 40% of the people who we got into like the hotels and motels have gone back into the streets because they
Yeah.
violated rules, because they, you know, got mental health issues or
Yeah.
whatever else. So
Yeah.
it's a real crisis that we have yet to crack.
Cause and that's really something in my life I just feel like I need to pay attention to, and it's something that's very important to me.
The homeless crisis.
The homeless crisis is
Yeah.
because I think it's an incredibly complex problem,
Yeah,
but
it is.
I think
It
it is
is.
solvable.
It's not just a silver bullet issue. People want to try
Yeah.
to simplify it, but no, it took a long time to get to this point, and it's
Yeah.
not just going to be an overnight solution to fix it.
Yeah. And to me, like, my issue is with the fentanyl and drug dealers. And that's, I'm not gonna run for office again, but if I was mayor, if I was president, y'all would see me beat up the fentanyl dealers on TV.
It's
I'm like, I might start doing it anyway. If y'all know a fentanyl dealer who don't got a gun, point him to me. I promise you I'll beat his ass. I promise you I will.
Fentanyl's crazy, man. It's crazy. Just a
Yeah.
little dose. Like, you used
Yeah.
to be able to, like, hey, you know, call, hey, I'll take a little E, I'll take a little whatever.
I
I'll
guess
do a little
I don't think
something.
I've-
But now it's just like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
The risk is too high. You can't even have fun. You can't even have fun as a kid. Not that, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
But you could
I-
do it a little easier back in the day, a little more carefree, like.
Yeah.
Should I say?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah, no,
You're playing with your life.
Yeah, I actually have a cousin who passed away a couple of years ago. He and his best friend.
Really?
Yeah. They both were trying to do cocaine, and they ended up doing fentanyl, and they both passed away on the spot. And
That's
our
awful.
our family is not okay.
Right.
I have never heard my sister cry like that before on
These
the
are
phone.
cousins of yours?
This is my cousin, or my mom's brother's
Right,
kid.
right.
Yeah, that's my cousin. He's
In
my
the family,
it's
in
my
the
mom's
family.
half brother's
No,
kid.
we black folk.
Yeah,
we
he's
got,
my,
we
you
got,
know,
we got lines. We
he's
got
my
lines.
cousin. But it destroyed my family. And like, you know,
Right.
Aaron, he was the musician. He's the person it's always a person that brings everybody together.
Right.
And so because of that, I have a vendetta against people who lace their cocaine with fentanyl. I promise you.
No,
got
it's terrible.
I
'Cause
will
that's
beat
what
his
they're
ass.
doing. It's just like, oh, it gets you more addicted. We can
Yeah.
cheapen it. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, no, people are dying. you
So
know?
in California, we have way more homeless people, and a lot of them are actually just victims of people who gave them an illicit substance that they are now addicted
and then they're
to.
hooked to. Right.
So that is the root of the problem.
Right. And it's a terrible thing. And it's just like we want to villainize all these places and all these, Mexico is just like, oh no, we're sending all this stuff because the demand is there. Like the whole federales and all this stuff, and like the whole thing that went down, and we killed the drug lord, and we're trying to do stuff with Scheinbaum and the president. It's because it's supply and demand. The demand is just so high here, and it's not subsiding.
Yeah.
That's and then the fentanyl that comes from China. It comes from China.
And I looked that up. Okay, so when it comes to that, they're like, so most of the fentanyl that comes into the country, that is in the country, actually comes from outside of the country.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
The way
That's where
they
it's
get
manufactured.
the way they get it into the country is through the shipping systems, and they find ways to put it in this crate, and you go around the corner and you pull it out from there, and you get it.
Not coming from Venezuela. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't coming from Venezuela.
So
Wasn't coming from there. But
there is a way to solve it, and I probably have never really spoken about this on camera before, but I'll be honest with you guys, I have done marijuana before.
okay.
I inhaled too. But
Well, I remember when you when you
remember,
dabbled,
yeah.
when
Yeah.
you got into it.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
you were pretty straight edge. You were
Yeah,
you were kind of a little lamb, you know,
Yeah.
little deer in the headlights. But
Yeah.
no, once it came, and then you were just around,
Yeah.
you know, a little bit of pseudo Hollywood influence or whatever you want to call it in our little digital pod.
Yeah.
And no, it's easy to get caught up, and it's easy to go away, and it's not like, you know, it's not as addictive as, you know, we'd say
The
like
rest of the
heroin or
stuff,
whatever,
yeah.
but it's definitely habit forming. It can definitely
Yeah.
be something that is just like, oh man, I
Yeah.
haven't had a little puffadillas, and
Yeah.
I need to get my fix.
And it made me confident too. For a while, I thought that I needed it to perform. I
Right.
thought,
Right.
I needed to be like kind of like.
It took the edge off, but
Yeah.
but it can go to an extreme.
Yeah.
Like some people are like, oh, I have a little edible, and then I can
Yeah.
and go do my set.
It took me years to realize that I didn't need it,
Right.
and I was like to my friends that were like, oh, they like, you drink wine, you drink champagne. Like, first off, I don't be drinking tequila or like white. I don't drink clear liquor all
I
the
hate
time.
tequila.
But I was
hate
like,
tequila. I can't drink tequila.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't do it.
I'll
can't
do it with friends. But I was like, if I ever thought that I needed alcohol or weed
that's
to
rough.
perform, then I would be in a trouble situation. Luckily, I had to learn. I was like, I'm a performer.
Because then it's a
beforehand,
crutch.
yeah.
Because then it's a crutch, and then it's, you know, like
Yeah.
anything else. There's a dependency that goes with it, and that's not necessarily the place that you want to be in. And that's what, you know, that's what a lot of people get caught up in that way.
So to all the young men watching, don't do drugs until you're old enough. Don't do alcohol until you're old enough. I didn't drink alcohol till I was 23. My brain fully formed. To
Fully formed enough.
Enough.
Fully formed enough.
More than most.
Right. You weren't
before they-
16, 17.
Cause I'm like, I never been drunk like y'all. Y'all be
Right.
drinking and y'all be like,
Right.
I'm
right.
like, you never seen me drunk.
What do you think about this whole thing about Gen Z drinking less, or they don't drink anymore? or
It's
there's-
true. It's an old people thing.
You think so?
I think
it's
so.
just so expensive, or maybe they're just like
It is expensive.
it's expensive. Everything is a lot more expensive
So
for
true.
the youth, and I think that's a big part of it. They're like, we don't go out anymore. We don't go to clubs anymore. We're not going to buy, you know, not even
That's so
$9
true.
cocktails is my time. They're like $13, $14, $15, $20, $25 for a drink.
But if
for
you
one
think of
drink.
like that
for
70s
one
show,
sugary drink.
like that 70s show, they're trying to get like a keg. Like, how much could you think a keg cost? Like,
I mean, back in the day, not much.
not much.
You pull your resources. You get some Natty Light or Natty Ice or some Keystone, whatever
now,
it is.
a bunch of teenagers trying to get a keg is physically impossible.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. No, times have changed. So but it's like my heart goes out because when people are like, oh, they don't hang out, they don't party like we used to, they don't do that, they don't, you know,
Can't
they don't
afford it.
make the mistakes. It's just like, well, one, everything's on camera,
Yeah.
everything is documented.
Yeah.
So making mistakes is a lot higher of a risk proposition than it ever used to be.
Yes.
In addition to it being more expensive.
That is so true.
In addition to the, you know, the pollution of
But just
social
being
media
healthy.
and the curse of comparison and all that kind of stuff. But
These kids grew up during the Michelle Obama era, so you know, being healthy is way cooler. Like now, teenagers be in the gym.
right.
My age,
That's true.
you couldn't get a teenager from our age to be in the gym. You probably were because you were in sports
Right.
in school,
Right.
but for the rest of us nerds,
Right.
you couldn't get us to go
It's
to
true.
the gym.
It's true. I mean, that even goes back to a little bit of the
Yeah.
Lookmaxxing of it, like you got to
Yeah.
be in the gym, you got to do this, and that wasn't really a thing. When
Yeah.
we were younger.
But
Even
yeah,
me.
I was watching the video about South Korea and their need for Looksmaxxing, and they were saying in their culture, you get ahead in society by how well you can present yourself as a man, which is why they're wearing eyeliner and
That's
they're
interesting.
they're doing this and that. And I think
Right.
there's a little bit more of that into our culture, and that's fine, you know.
Right.
But I think I'm right in between put on eyeliner and Andrew Tate.
Okay.
I'm right in the middle. I'm like, you need to be a man. I'm like, do you need to put on eyeliner? If you want to, that's fine. But be a man. Go to the gym. Brush your teeth.
Yes.
Get a job.
There you go.
There's nothing wrong with having a job.
No, absolutely. Well, no, and you know, if you're trying to attract ladies, which is I feel like is the end goal.
That's
for a lot of
another
these-
thing.
for a lot of these cats.
I'm gonna tell you here. Number
know,
one,
being
you
a-
want to get a girl. I'm gonna tell you all these guys that want to get a girl. Number two, number one, be nice to her. Number two, have a job.
It helps. It
How about
helps.
that?
It helps, and just be like, oh, we just be, I don't have to
Be earning money.
Gender roles are different, and there's a reason, and there's a reason. You're the man, you're the provider. That's whatever. There's the woman, and obviously that's different. We've come a long way. We've got Title IX. We've got more women in the workplace,
Yeah.
and that's a wonderful, beautiful thing. And I think maybe in some of that is where of our uplifting of women, which is wonderful, is where some of the people are like, oh, but what about me? But what about us? And I can
Yeah.
even flip that to like, black folks getting rights and black folks coming up and advancing. And some of the other people are like, well, what about us and what about me? It's
You
just
have
like,
the
we
rights
haven't
already.
done anything to you.
Yeah.
Equality does not equal equality for all does not equal oppression for you.
Yeah.
That is not how that works.
Yes.
So I think people are just so tribalistic, and they just sort of retreat into their own little bubble of whatever. But it's just like, no,
even those
egalitarian societies, whatever it is. Like you look at Scandinavia, where they have a lot more equality between the sexes, and they're traditionally always ranked as the happiest societies in the world. Finland, Sweden, Norway.
I know it's beautiful out there,
and it's a gorgeous place, and they have gorgeous people.
They got some fine people in there.
They have some fine people. They're healthy. They're very tall. They live a long time. But I think
country's beautiful.
I think there's something to be said for that, and I think part of it is really education and knowing knowing your history, knowing how other people live, getting outside of just your little bubble. We're so big in America, and we're such a broad, expansive state that it can be, or country, that it can just be so easy to be so insular and be like, you go to Europe and it's different because you drive 2 states over here, you're driving through 3 different countries. They all speak 3-4
different languages
by the time they get out of high school, and that's like part of the culture.
So true.
You can even say some of the same thing about Japan, and like just looking at the education, and you look at the there's a reason why the H-1B visas and everybody's coming from India and everybody's coming from all these places for these highly technical jobs. There's a reason. Because their education is so high, but America is still that shining city on a hill. We still have the captains of innovation and all of this stuff. And America's we all have our problems. Yeah. And America is no exception. And the orange man in the White House is really, I feel like, highlighting a lot of these issues and these problems. But I don't know. That's my kind of soapbox 2 cents. It's just,
it's a beautiful
learning
thing.
Geography, history, learning a little bit about things outside of your little pond, I think would go a long way for a lot of people.
I agree with everything that you just said. All those problems you just said. And at the end of the day, I still love America.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think this is like...
Absolutely.
This is... I think I get a lot of controversy for this. I believe in what America can be. I believe that America is a constantly developing thing. Like, when Walt Disney made Disneyland, he said Disneyland will always be under construction. Wow. Disneyland will never be finished. Wow. America is the same thing. Yes, I have all these problems with what it is today, but I believe in its ability to become with what I believe it is.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. And there's no place else I would rather be.
And oh, hell yeah.
No, the opportunity here, and that's why so many people flock around the world.
Go? To everybody that hate America, where you want to live.
Whatever. That's why you go to every corner store, every whatever, and it's some immigrant, and it's just like, no, I'm living a better life here. You can come, and you can come from nothing and have nothing, and you can make something of yourself, and that is still a very unique situation that we have had here and cultivated here in America that you don't find in a lot of other people in the world. And the American dream is, how cost of housing is hard, and you can't buy a house when you're 30 or 40 anymore. All of that may be true, and we have problems, and I think there's a lot of truth to that, and a lot of that is solvable. But America is still, USA #1 for all our problems, and sometimes even like being patriotic. I think a lot of that is like waving the flag has been co-opted by the other side, and like even talking to some people, they're like, it almost feels dirty to like wave the American flag, because some people have sort of co-opted it for something
that's so true,
almost nasty, or something that's not representative of all of us, because it's just like heritage Americans, which is the new term
that's so
now.
True.
But it's like, no, this is a wonderful, beautiful place.
I can be progressive and I can be proud of America at the same 100%.
Time. 100%. Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. There ain't no place else I'd rather be.
There's no place I'm not trying to live nowhere else.
Yeah, no.
Even my friend that called me earlier, the first one that called me, she's like, oh, LA's so expensive. Why don't you just move to Oregon? I'm not going to live somewhere with no Mexicans. And I can't get no Mexican food. I'm not going to live somewhere with no Mexicans and no Asians. No. I promise you I won't.
That's the most beautiful thing about this. It's just such a multicultural, diverse.
I have been to Atlanta, and that was my first time being like, everybody's black.
Dude.
It was crazy.
My sister lives in Atlanta, though. Dude, I think that was good for me. Seeing, like,
a
successful black folk.
Yeah.
Seeing of all shades and all shapes and colors, and you got white people, black people, but you see like black people doing stuff, and you see black ownership, and you go to the Hawks game and you see like, okay, Chocolate City. Okay,
if you've never been to Atlanta, you don't understand what we're talking about. And this was me in middle school seeing this. Right. And I'm from the Bay Area, so my town that I'm from is 45% black people, 45% Latino.
Are you from the East? Are you from? Where are you?
I'm from East Bay. Yeah. Okay, I'm from right next to Oakland. So there's like 10% Southeast Asian
Right.
and everybody that's white is in foster care.
Right.
So,
Interesting.
so I'm used to a
Interesting.
melting pot. I'm
Yeah.
used to seeing everybody. But when I
Right.
went to Atlanta for the first time, I was like,
It was like eye-opening and culture shock in a good way.
Yeah.
For me when I went to Atlanta.
and everybody booty out here. But anyway, we at 45 minutes.
I think we're good. Let's wrap. We got plenty to. Dude, this was good.
This is good.
I think
this
this is good. I think this is good.
This is good.
How do we take it out? Should I take it out?
So VTV is a new experiment by Rickey Macchiato.
Yeah.
And William Haynes.
Get it.
And if you lasted this long into the video, you lasted longer than we expected because we were only planning on going for 30 minutes.
Look
And
at us
I
go.
think we have 40 something. So please leave a like on us. Please comment on us to tell us what you would like for us to talk about because we don't know what we're talking about. We don't know
No.
what we want to talk about.
We riffing.
So,
We
and
riffing.
I don't do this for most of my shows,
Let us
but
know.
you tell me what you want us to talk about.
Absolutely.
And we will talk about it. Subscribe to us, and if you're listening on the RSS feed,
Yes, the podcast. We'll do a podcast.
We'll
It'll
do-
be a
we-
podcast.
this
It'll
how
be out
early in
there.
development is. We don't
Yes.
even have RSS feed yet. they ain't know.
We started from scratch.
We
folks.
start recording.
We had the ground floor.
You probably pitched this to me 7 days ago, and we
Dude,
here.
and we made it
You see how
happen.
fast I'm moving.
I thought this was going to be another month or two. in
No, not the
development,
way I'm
but
moving.
Will was like, "Can you film in 3 days?" I'm like, I'll
Not the
figure it
way
out.
I'm moving.
We'll
I'm
figure
moving
it out."
today. I'm like, let's go. So thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate
Say
it.
that again. You hit it.
Oh, say thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you
Yes.
guys for coming to VTV, VeniceTV. Follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
And if nobody loves you, know Ricky and Will love you.
That's right. Absolutely. Thanks, y'all. See you next time.